Hello everyone, I hope you've all had a lovely weekend. So today we are back building with the new werewolf gameplay kit. I'm building a starter house this time. I wanted to finally get into some gameplay and my sim needed a house. So this one I think comes in just under your 20,000 straight out of cash. So I did add quite a lot of details to it because I had quite a lot of money left over. So if you wanted to delete some of those things to give your sims a little bit more money, then there's plenty of things that you can delete in this house. So this one is a tier 3 tiny home. I believe it comes to around 70 tiles, like 73 tiles or something like that once I'm done. It's quite small, but I think it's quite cozy. There's enough room in here for one, maybe two sims. You can get to both sides of the double bed, so you can have two sims in here, but I kind of had one sim in mind, just as like a lone wolf kind of shack almost. So I've built it on what I think is kind of like a junkyard. It's a really tiny lot. It's the 20 by 15 lot in Moonwood Mill, and I don't really build very often on these size lots because they're so small. I feel like I don't have enough space, but I do actually quite like playing on small lots. I just don't like building on them. But yeah, there's quite a lot of things that you can do here. I've added the woodworking table in this little like garage area. It's very tiny, it's only a 3x3 room, but I wanted it to look like it was a garage, even though it's not. It's just got a woodworking table in it, and I've put the new like shelving unit that you can get the collectibles that fit on there really nicely. I've put that in there as well. It's huge, but I've managed to fit that in somehow. And so when your sims go through the tunnels and collect all the different things that they can get, then you can put them on that little shelving unit. I didn't want to put any like of the unlockable things in here because I wanted it to be very much like a starter base, even though I've added quite a lot of stuff. My idea behind it, or like my story behind it, I thought that maybe your sims just kind of looking around for somewhere to stay and they come across this old junkyard that's like just been left. It's not necessarily like abandoned, but it's, well, I guess in the sense of the word it is, but it's not been there for a long time. It's just kind of been, the old owners have moved out and it's just now available, So it is a little bit on the rundown side. There's scratches and things, and once your sims figure out what werewolves are, maybe it becomes obvious that this used to be like a turning house or something, where they'd go to get used to their new abilities and things. That's kind of what I had in mind. So there's quite a lot of scratches on the walls, scratches on the floor, all the furniture's all beat up, that sort of thing. So I thought it was a nice idea or like a nice backstory, I guess, where other sims have gone through the same thing that your sims have gone through, but they don't know that until a little bit later on. So like I said, junkyard, so there's quite a lot of junky bits. Like the furniture is mostly handmade out of different scrap pieces. Out in the garden area, there's like old metal scrap, there's the old cars and different pieces of rubbish, and I've used a couple of the debug pieces from Eco Lifestyle. Like there's like a mattress and a fridge that's on its back, and I think a bathtub and a couple of other bits and pieces that I thought looked like maybe your sim's gone rummaging through somebody else's bin and found different furniture pieces that they could use in their own home. So for the bedroom, I originally planned to use the Eco Lifestyle bed, the one that's got like the patchworky kind of look to it, and it matches quite nicely with this red sofa that I have at the moment. I do change it to this like weird pea green one. But yeah, I wanted to use that one, but I didn't realize until a little bit later that it's like 1,500 simoleons or something. It's really expensive, so I thought I'd go with the debug one because it's only 25, and then, you know, if you wanted to upgrade it once you've made a bit of money, then you can, you know. But for the sake of it being a starter home, I needed to make sure that it was as cheap as possible. I've used the city living kitchen items because they're, you know, classed as secondhand. They look really dirty and just not that great. So I wanted to definitely use those because I think they look really cool anyway. They don't have all of the updated swatches, even though it's the same as the base game ones, but I quite like this like brown one that I've used anyway, so I think it matches really well with all of the other items. And the bathroom, I've used a combination of different things. I think I've used maybe a Strangerville bathtub because it looks like you Sims have like repurposed it out of bits of junk. The toilet that you can craft, I think you can craft it on the woodworking table, and then the sink I think is from Laundry Day. So I have used like a whole mix of packs in this one because, like I said, I was trying to keep the price as low as possible so I could get as much in whilst keeping it under 20,000. I think the base lot price is 1,000, which is cheaper than most of the other lots. I think most of them are around 1,500, so like for this size. So this one is, I think, the cheapest one, so that's pretty cool too, because that gave me like an extra 500 to work with. But I think my sim probably had about 1,000 left once I'd finished, so what does that work out as? Just over 18,000 simoleons for the whole lot, which I think that's okay for a starter lot, you know, it's got everything that you need in it. But like I said, there's so many things that you can delete if you want to save a little bit more money. Like these junk piles I think are 30, but most of the other ones are like, they don't cost anything, which is why I've been able to use so many things. Those Portaloo things, I found them in the tree section. I don't know why they were in trees, but that's where you find them if you can't find them, if you have Better Build Buy installed. So like this bonfire, obviously you can delete that if you want to, and there's quite a lot of smaller decorative things I think that I've used, like the coat rack and the broom that you hang on the wall from, is that from Laundry Day too? And like a couple of other bits and pieces that I didn't necessarily have to use, but I wanted to because I wanted to like fill the gaps and the spaces because it just looks so empty. And with my idea of it being somebody else's home before you, I think, well, if somebody's just literally gone, okay, well, I'm joining a pack and, you know, moving out, they're probably not going to take their stuff with them, so, you know, fresh start and all that. I thought it would be good to include lots of different things. So I'm almost done with the landscaping. I was mostly going with base game and then found a couple of different bits from the Werewolves pack that I thought would be nice to use just to kind of tie in with the world around it. I mean, the trees I think are base game anyway, like they're exactly the same anyway, and I think it just looks like it fits in. I mean, I've maximized the whole use of the space like I normally do, but yeah, I really like this one. I think it's cozy and just a little bit, I mean, it's not really that much different from what I usually build because I normally build this sort of thing anyway. But I haven't really built anything I think that looks like this, maybe in this shape, I don't know. I've been finding some really cool inspiration pictures on Pinterest the last couple of weeks, mostly of like little model train sets. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but they're like these big elaborate train sets that have like these little model villages, and they're really, really detailed, and they're kind of like dioramas, I guess, but I've found quite a lot of them, of these like old train stations, which is where I got my inspiration for the first build that I did last week. and this one was, I think this one was like a fishing shack or something, and then I saw another one that was a junkyard that literally just had like a little shed on it. So I put the two together and I thought they looked really cool. If you want to see any of my inspiration images, they're all on my Pinterest, which is on my link tree linked below, so you can see kind of where I get my ideas from. And I've saved so many things on there that, you know, I'm not going to be able to use all of them. So there's probably quite a few things that if you're stuck for inspiration, then there's, you know, several hundred images for you to look through as well. It's not very organized, but you know, I think it's pretty cool. You can kind of see where my mind is going on a lot of my different builds. So I'm trying to work on the detaily bits for the last part of this video now. So quite a lot of these things I was trying to pay attention to how much they cost, but at the same time I didn't want to, you know, not add things. So I put this little werewolf cure down in the bathroom, but I think that's like the only thing that isn't really something that you would come across in normal, or you would come across it in normal gameplay, because you can get it from the bar, but you know, it's not really something that you'd necessarily find in the house. But I thought, like I said with the backstory of this one, if it is like a house where werewolves go to turn, then maybe that's like the option. If you don't like it, then you've got the option to cure yourself. So I thought that would work well in there. And yeah, I do add a couple of the new curtains. Upstairs in the bedroom, it kind of goes really dark for some reason, and I tried to like sort it out with the tool mod, but it's still really dark, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that one, but you can probably just delete it if you don't like it. But I really like the way that the light comes through the windows and the roof in this house with all the holes in it. I think it looks really cool. So that is pretty much it from me today, so I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to download it, it's on the gallery already, or the tray files can be found on Tumblr probably sometime this evening or tomorrow. So yeah, thank you again for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you are enjoying the pack if you have it already, because I'm going to be going into gameplay very soon and I'm really excited. So yeah, thank you again, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Mm-hmm.